Absolutely gorgeous weather at Target Field for the series opener between the Twins and the Phillies. And the Twins have more than held their own at home against National League teams. Look at that one-loss record the Twins have in interleague play at home. Of course, those numbers include the years at the Metrodome, the third best in Major League Baseball. And they'll hope that continues through this week with 3 with the Phillies and then 3 with the Brewers. Dick and Bert with you here from a beautiful Target Field as the Twins hope to continue their overall good play here at home over the last week.
Well, you know, for some reason, the Twins have played very well as of late. 5-1 over these last 6 ball games. How have they done it? Yes, they scored a lot of runs, but the pitching staff has an ERA under 4. Always very, very important. And they have not made a lot of errors. They've played pretty good defense and some good 2-out hitting.
And they hope to continue to play well at home as they did when a big, strong, left-handed designated hitter was hitting in the middle of the lineup. Of course, speaking of Jim Thome, who was a fixture on this team in the middle of the lineup for parts of 2 years.
Yeah, for 2 years, Jim Thome showed off his power here at Target Field. Some mammoth shots and some really memorable shots as far as winning ball games. Good to have Jim Thome back, but hopefully he doesn't hit one in this 3-game series.
Nevertheless, he's really looking forward to this series at Target Field.
I think everybody knows my 2 years here was very, very special. You know, they gave me an opportunity, to be honest, when not many teams were calling at that time. And I thank them for that. I appreciate that. And same with the fans. The fans here were great as well. So it's good to be back. It is a little different being over here, but that's baseball.
Everybody that's got to know Jim Thome, admire Jim Thome, future Hall of Famer. Highly respected in the game of baseball.
Well, the Twins hope to beat Thome and the Phillies in this 3-game series. It's also Twitter Tuesday in addition to being the series opener. And we'll hear from right fielder Ben Revere in just a moment. Fox Sports North is brought to you by your local Northland Ford dealer. Visit your local Northland Ford dealer or go to northlandford.com. By Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. And by a reminder from Budweiser, great times are waiting. Designate a driver.
Beautiful night for baseball. Interleague baseball continues as the Philadelphia Phillies visit the Minnesota Twins. Of course, it is Tuesday, which means it's Twitter Tuesday. You can join each and every Tuesday. Put a hashtag #AskATwin on Twitter and send your best questions. We'll pick a few out and bring them to a Twins player. And today's player was Ben Revere. Brian Lavelle, a big fan, wants to know if there's a specific lucky pregame meal for Mr. Revere.
Usually I go with the peanut butter and jelly sandwich on wheat bread, chips, banana, carrots, and a little chocolate Snicker bar. Usually it just hits the spot for me. I don't want to get too full or just slow me down and I get in trouble with the coaches, so.
We'll announce those players on Monday. Again, it's hashtag #AskATwin, and we'll bring your questions to your favorite Twins throughout the baseball season. When we come back on Fox Sports North, Nick Blackburn faces Jim Thome in the Philadelphia Phillies. Twins have done well in interleague play. They'll try to do it again at Target Field tonight.
To turn around. After weeks of disappointment, Minnesota won its 4th straight series last weekend. Every part of the lineup has been contributing, with speed at the top, some meat in the middle, and plenty of pop at the bottom. Things are definitely coming together for the Twins. Tonight, Nick Blackburn looks to keep things moving in the right direction in the series opener with the Phillies. And Ben Revere, part of the resurgency that we've seen here with the Twins, particularly over the last couple of weeks. He's done well since his recall, and I think a lot of Twins fans are looking forward to see Jim Thome pop up about 12 times in this series.
Well, there's Charlie Manuel, former Twin, in his 11th season as manager of the Philadelphia Phillies.
Here's the Menards batting order for Charlie Manuel, Jimmy Rollins, Juan Pierre, Hunter Pence, Jim Thome, Shane Victorino, Ty Wigginton, Carlos Ruiz, Mike Fontenot, and Michael Martinez.
And Nick Blackburn on the mound, making his 9th start, his 2nd start since coming off the disabled list, where he was on a DL with that left quad strain. Twins need a quality start. Only one quality start for Blackburn in his 8 starts. And making his 2nd career start against the Phillies, his last one coming a couple years ago in Philly. when the Twins, my goodness, remember that series in Philadelphia, 16 home runs hit.
Here's the Northland Fort defense for the Twins. Willingham, Span, Revere in the outfield. Kloof, Dozier, Carroll, Morneau the infielders. Maurer behind the plate. It was a crazy game on a Saturday afternoon in Philadelphia. I think the Twins won at 12-11, something like that. Well, Jimmy Rollins leads things off against Nick Blackburn in the first pitch, down low, ball one.
Jimmy Rollins, one of the best in the game as far as being a leadoff hitter in his 13th season with the Phillies, three-time National League All-Star.
And he leads off the ball game with a sharp single to right.
Phillies, even though they're in last place, they're hitting well as a ball club. Second best average in the National League, hitting at .266 as a club.
In today's game, we're participating in the Home Run Challenge. Every home run in this game raises $14,000 for prostate cancer research. After 5 days of the challenge, 64 home runs have been hit, raising $896,000. You can make a pledge by calling 800-798-CURE or go online to www.pcf.org. And Blackburn falls behind Pierre 1-0.
Yeah, Juan Pierre in his first season with the Phillies, last couple of years with the Chicago White Sox. Phillies like to run. Keep an eye on Rawlings at first base.
And down low again. So Blackburn falling behind the hitters. It's 2-0 to Pierre.
Blackburn in interleague play, making his 13th career start in interleague play, where he's 4-5. 4 wins, 5 losses.
You mentioned in the pregame show one of the problems Blackburn has had, something he was very good at, just not this year, is getting ground ball double plays. Just 3 of them turned behind him.
Yeah, go back to 2008 when Blackburn was in that rotation. He's 5th as far as getting double plays, but it has not been that way this year in the American League.
And a strike, 2-1.
Rawlings at first base, 10 stolen bases in 11 attempts. And the Phillies are 43 out of 51 in both stolen base attempts. Blackburn's pretty quick home, though.
And that's outside, 3-1 with Pierre squaring the bunt.
Hunter Pence on deck. Big pitch right here. You don't want to walk this guy. See if Rawlings maybe takes off. And the Twins thought maybe he was going to.
Twins won the first 2 games against the Cubs, gave up an early run, lost the ball game in the series finale. Blackburn trying to keep the Phillies from scoring here after the leadoff single. And that's a walk after the single. First and second, nobody out.
Let's take a look at our GMC keys to the game for Nick Blackburn. The first couple innings, you see the very high earned run average. He's given up some early runs. So already here tonight, Blackburn putting himself in trouble.
Hunter Pence hitting third for the Phillies. Jim Thome will follow. And he takes strike 1.
Pence coming over from the Houston Astros a couple of years ago.
One strike to Pence. And now 1-1. Ryan Howard's out with the Achilles issue. They'll hope to get him back later this year. Chase Utley on the disabled list. In all, 9 Phillies right now are on the disabled list. Some pretty notable names. Thomas.
Roy Halladay.
That's on the outside corner, 1 and 2.
Well, they're kind of going through what the Twins went through last year. You know, a lot of the key players spending time on the DL. It's tough to win. They're in a very tough division. Washington Nationals right now leading the division. The Phillies in last, 8.5 games back.
1-2 to Hunter Pence. And now the count is even.
Hey, 11 pitches for Blackburn, only 4 strikes. Needs one of those ground balls right here.
Fouled over the Twins dugout. Yeah, Ryan Howard left Achilles surgery. He blew out in the final at bat of the NLCS with the Cardinals. Chase Utley has had knee problems. He's on a rehab assignment now. And Roy Halladay out with the right lat pull. Our Sanford Health injury report, and that's just the headliners on the list. Bouncer to short.
There's one of them.
Dozier to Carroll to Morneau. And that takes care of the first 2 outs with Rollins going to third.
Well, that's what you can do right there when you're a ground ball pitcher. Get a double play. Good turn.
And now Jim Thome.
The designated hitter, number 25, Jim Thome.
Very nice ovation for Jim Thome.
When he was with the Twins, we remarked regularly how in such a short period of time in a Twins uniform, he became a fan favorite. And if you needed any further evidence, I think we just got it.
Hey, you know what? Usually on the road, you're supposed to get booed.
And
I don't think Jim Thome's ever been booed on the road.
There have been players who played here a lot longer who left through free agency or who were traded who didn't get a reception like that.
Oh, you're not thinking of A.J. Brzezinski, are you? Come on.
Swing and a miss, 1-1. Deeply in the outfield. That's how you defend Jim Thome.
And that gentleman right there, he's ready also.
And that's missing low again, and it's 2-1 to Thome.
605 career home runs for Jim Thome. Hit one the other day against the Baltimore Orioles.
Spent a month on the disabled list and came off just in time to be a designated hitter in interleague play. Hit right at the shortstop. That's how the infield plays, Thome. And Blackburn survives a leadoff single and backup walk. No score in the top of the first. Phillies had a threat. Blackburn got a double play grounder. Carroll in the middle of it. And the Menards batting order for Ron Gardenhire. Denard Span leading off. Ben Revere's been outstanding since his recall. Joe Mauer, Josh Willingham, Justin Morneau, Ryan Doumit back in the lineup after getting Sunday off. Trevor Plouffe, Brian Dozier, and Jamie Carroll.
And right-handed pitcher Kyle Kendrick on the mound for Kendrick, making his 9th start, his 14th appearance. He's kind of taking the place right now. He's kind of, over the last couple of years, kind of been a spot starter. Spent some time in the bullpen. He started this year in the bullpen, and then with the injuries of Cliff Lee and other starters like Roy Halladay, he's been inserted back into that starting rotation.
Twins have a lot of speed. Span and Revere in the first 2 spots. And what we've seen during this nice stretch for the Twins, most of the time it seems Span or Revere get on, and every once in a while they both get on. We'll see if the Twins can get their first 2 batters on in the first inning like the Phillies did.
Yeah, Kendrick has a fastball clocked in the low 90s, a hard slider, and a circle changeup.
1-0 to Span. Deep to right field. Span driving in, out of here, a home run. And he can take his time going around the bases.
Home run number 2 on the year for Denard Span.
The first home run allowed by Kendrick in more than 25 innings.
A good way for the Twins to start here tonight against the Philadelphia Phillies. That 2-seamer came back over the plate. Span, short, compact swing, puts it into the seats over the limestone in right field.
And that'll bring up Ben Revere. And he takes a strike. Since his recall, Revere has hit at a .337 clip. There's a drive to right center field. Pence comes over to make the catch. 1 away. And that's exactly what the Twins don't want Ben Revere to do, hit the fly balls. With the home run hit by Denard Span, another $14,000 has been raised to support prostate cancer research. To make a donation, call 800-798-CURE or go online to www.pcf.org. Here's Mauer. Joe's average just over the 300 mark. Takes a strike at the knees. What we've seen over the last couple of weeks, Bert, with the Twins winning 4 straight series, this is the preferred lineup that they'd like to run out there. Certainly the first 4, 5, 6 hitters they'd like to put out there most games. But it's a pretty formidable first 3 hitters when Span is a career 300 hitter. We expect him to hit that this year. Revere well over 300 and a 3-time batting champion hitting 3rd.
Well, you saw Ron Gardner right there and actually smile because he does have that lineup set up the way I think he likes it.
2 strikes to Mauer. And down and away, 1 and 2.
You know, certain moves that things happen during the season, and on May 16th, Ben Revere did come up. Nick Blackburn went on a disabled list. Revere got the call up, and the Twins are 14-9 since his return and playing very solid baseball.
2 and 2.
Can it be one guy? Can one guy, bring up some? Ben Revere has energy, and he brought that up, and he loves to play the game of baseball. You could tell by the way that he was answering Greg Gordon in the Tuesday tweet. He likes people, and he loves to play.
Bouncer to second. Michael Martinez with the throw to Ty Wigginton. 2 down. Let's check the Phillies in the field. Brought to you by Northland Ford. Juan Pierre in left. Shane Victorino in center. Hunter Pence in right. Mike Fontenot at third. Jimmy Rollins at short. Michael Martinez at second. Ty Wigginton. And Carlos Ruiz might be the best catcher in the National League, if not all of baseball. He's their catcher. Here's Josh Willingham.
Now Kendrick is making his first start and first appearance against the Twin organization, but he has faced a couple batters in the Twins lineup. Willingham one of those, and Josh is 4 for 11 lifetime against Kendrick with a double and a home run.
Lifted to right, and Pence comes in. to end the inning. A leadoff home run by Denard Span, and the Twins take the first lead.
Nothing as we go to the top of the second. This week the Twins kicked off their annual Hope Week, which is a week dedicated to giving back here to the community. The festivities started on Sunday night with Justin Morneau's Casino Night. Morneau and his wife Krista hosted their 4th annual Casino Night at International Market Square in Minneapolis. The money will be used to benefit the Arthritis Foundation, and their niece, who was 2 years old at the time, was diagnosed with juvenile arthritis. She'll be 8 in a couple weeks. They just found out that the arthritis is in remission thanks to the research and treatments funded by events like this. Hope Week, guys, the Twins always seem to find a special way to give back.
Well, they sure do. Thank you very much, Kevin. And great news.
Shane Victorino will lead off the second for the Phillies. 1-1 the count. And now inside 2-1. Victorino, Wigginton, and Ruiz.
Yeah, Victorino, a switch hitter in his 8th season with the Phillies. First came up to the big leagues with the Padres as a left-handed hitter, hitting at .238. 3 of his 8 home runs coming from the left side. Right back at Blackburn for the first out.
And the Twins hope significantly the first 4 outs are all on ground balls. Here's Wigginton.
Got the big double play in the top of the first inning.
Wigginton getting a chance to play at first base. Of course, Ryan Howard out and will be for a while. Jim Thome, their designated hitter in this series, was tried at first base, and he went down with the almost predictable back injury for about a month on the DL. So Wigginton gets a chance to play at first base.
Wigginton in his first season with the Phillies, his 11th major league season.
Ball 1 and ball 2.
Twins saw a little bit of him in his only stint in the American League. That was with the Orioles. Other than that, he's been with 6 different National League teams.
Big swing on the 2-0 pitch. That's fouled back 2-1.
Roy Smalley down in that camera well. Nick Blackburn got a big double play in that first inning.
Sure did, Bert, and so far what we've seen from Nick Blackburn has been the things we don't want him to do, and then right back to the things we do want him to do. Walking the first, or giving up a base hit and a walk, but then sinker back down in the low zone again, and guys are starting to swing over the top of it. That's what we're looking for in Nick Blackburn. When you see guys, even if they contact the ball hard, if it's on the ground, you know that the sinker's in the right location and it's got some movement.
Another ball beaten into the ground. Even Rollins' base hit that started the game was a two-hopper through the right side of the infield. So everything is heading down from home plate.
Yeah, and we can talk about it, but Nick Blackburn knows what he needs to do to be successful, and so far so good.
Here's Carlos Ruiz. Having a great year offensively, always considered to be one of the better defensive catchers in the game.
Having an outstanding year, hitting at .347 in his 7th season with the Phillies.
You know, and this is part of the interleague feature that I think fans enjoy. I know I do. Seeing a guy like this who's a great player and having his best season, and it's nice to see someone in person who's having the type of year and career that he's having. 1-1. Hold foul, 1-2.
Right past Juan Samuel, the third base coach for Charlie Manuel.
One and two to Carlos Ruiz.
Palazzo over at first. And that's a good sign right there. When he's missing down in the strike zone, especially ahead in the count.
2-2. There's a line drive to the gap. Ruiz continues his hot hitting. Span cuts it off. Ruiz digs for second. Span's throw is not in time and off target. A 2-out double for the Philly catcher.
Yeah, you could tell by that fastball right there. It had no movement on it whatsoever. Stayed about thigh high. And Ruiz, look at that right there, right into that swing. And he hit the ball sharply into left field. So Ruiz with a double, his 13th double, gets into scoring position with 2 outs.
Placido Polanco not on the disabled list, but he's been bothered by a left hand. Well, it's his left hand. It's not a left hand. He only has one, and it's hurting.
Yeah, he got spiked the other day and also twisted his wrist a little bit.
1-0. So that means Mike Fontenot gets a chance to play.
Yeah, Fontenot just came over to the Phillies right in spring training. He was released by the Giants at the end of spring training, then signed with the Phillies.
And Blackburn misses low again, 2-0.
Fontenot came up with the Mets, then a couple years with the Giants, getting released by the Giants, and with the Phillies, a career .260 hitter. Not much power.
Way out in front of the changeup. So Blackburn on 2-0 pulled the string. Two and 1 to Fontenot. Sliced foul, 2-2. You know, I think your comparison between the Phillies so far this year and the Twins last year certainly has some validity. When you don't have your payroll on the field, it can really be tough. And the Phillies, for whatever reason, have done better on the road than at home, but they're really having a tough time playing in front of their sellout crowds like the Twins had last year.
Yeah, Phillies are 17-14 on the road, where they're 12-19 at their ballpark.
Flipped foul into the left field corner. Still 2-2. Cliff Lee doesn't have a win yet this year.
He's pitched well, but remember Ryan Dempster for the Cubs, who just almost shut out the Twins, but he didn't have a win. No run support.
Blackburn reloads. Another 2-2 coming. Bounce right at Carroll. All the outs on the ground. And a couple of base hits. 2 men left aboard so far for the Phillies.
A great former pitcher for the Minnesota Twins, Dave Boswell, died at the age of 67. Pretty shocking to all of us. Everybody that knew Dave Boswell, he was a big part of our Twins fantasy camp, a teammate of mine back in the early 70s. A big loss. Our prayers are with his wife Lou and Dave's family.
Justin Morneau, the hitter, 1 strike.
I think everybody that knew Dave Boswell has a Boswell story.
I got several. I'm trying to figure which one I can tell on the
you
air.
can't.
You know, one of the best parts of this job for me is being able to meet and get to know some of the players I grew up following as a kid. And of course, Boswell was one of them. And well, what a character. I mean,
that's the best terminology,
yeah.
Character.
If you spent 3 minutes with them, they were some of the most memorable 3 minutes of your life.
Well, he's a pretty good pitcher, too. Won 20 games in 1969 under Billy Martin.
One and 2 to Morneau. Inside 2-2. Maybe the one I could tell, and you probably have a lot more, I'm sure you do, than I do, but the one he used to tell at the fantasy camp about how he pitched for the Twins and watched Harmon Killebrew, of course, during his greatest years with the Twins. Morneau lifts it foul, and so he ends up with the Baltimore Orioles, and he brags to the Orioles, who had some pretty good pitchers of their own. You know, he could get Killebrew out. He knew how to get Harmon out. So sure enough, as luck would have it, he got a start against the Twins, and Harmon took him deep the first 2 times. But he bragged.
Well, he knew, he just didn't want to do it.
There's Morneau taking a call, 3rd strike, 1 away.
Fastball middle in, the first strikeout of the ball game goes to Kendrick.
So 1 gone, and that'll bring up Ryan Doman.
Well, working inside, you see Ruiz sitting there and the ball hitting the inner half of the plate. Justin taking it for strike 3. I talked to Frank Quillisi today. They were roommates, Frank Quillisi and Dave Boswell. So, and by the way, Frank Quillisi's doing well with the new kidney.
1 strike to Doman. And then Trevor Plouffe. Twins have a 1-0 lead on a Denard Span home run. Doman chops it foul over the Twins dugout.
Well, Ryan Doman, a switch hitter, hitting .269 as a left-handed hitter. 4 of his 6 home runs from the left side of the plate. 2 for 7 lifetime against Kendrick. Ruiz sitting way away.
That ball raked into center field. A solid stroke by Doman. We've seen him do that from both sides of the plate. Reach across the plate, get the barrel of the bat on the ball, and almost pull it. We pulled a home run here earlier in the homestand on a pitch that was on the outside corner.
Yeah, look where Ruiz was setting up. I mean, at least a foot outside, and Doman hitting sharply that sinker down and away into right center. Second hit for the Twins.
So the 7th place hitter, one of the Twins' hottest hitters, in Trevor Plouffe. Further evidence that this lineup is, for the most part, been clicking over the last 2 weeks. One strike to Plouffe. And down and in. Gets a swing and a miss, 2 strikes. Just missed the corner.
Yeah, for Trevor Plouffe, over his last 8 ball games, 12 for 31 with 3 doubles, 4 home runs, and he's driven in 9 runs, and he's scored 7 runs. A very nice streak.
Plouffe reaches across the plate to protect it. A foul ball.
It's in mid-May. You can see second most home runs in the American League is Trevor Plouffe since May 16th.
There goes another one. A high high blast to left. Gone. A 2-run jolt for Plouffe. Pretty much right now, it seems as if any pitch in the inner half of the plate is a mistake to Trevor Plouffe.
Yeah, that looked like a breaking ball that just kind of hung middle in, and Plouffe, who has been red hot, has not missed too many of them. His 10th home run of the year. Well, maybe a changeup, but something just stayed middle in, and almost like a golf shot. Plouffe hitting it out for a 2-run home run. Twins take a 3-0 lead.
Off the facing of the second deck, and the Twins jump out in front on a pair of home runs. Here's Brian Dozier. With the home run hit by Trevor Plouffe, another $14,000 has been raised to support prostate cancer research. If you'd like to make a donation, call 800-798-CURE. Go online to www.pcf.org. Now, that's 2 innings we played, and I've read it each time.
Hope you read it about 7 more times.
Sure, that'd be fine.
Well, maybe 6 more times.
Once an inning. Dozier lifts it to left, got under it, and now Pierre is under it. Out number 2. Rasmussen College is proud to present Student Days every Wednesday at Target Field. Students can attend the Twins-Phillies game tomorrow at 7:10. Get a standing room only ticket for just $8. Student Day tickets are available beginning at 9 a.m. tomorrow. There's a limit of 1 ticket per student with a valid ID. For more information, visit twinsbaseball.com or call 800-33-TWINS. 2 down in the second. Here's Jamie Carroll. And strike 1. We've talked about Revere and we've talked about Plouffe for good reason, but quietly Carroll has his average up to 245. And I think we've seen Bert over the last couple of weeks how he hit in the 280, 290 range with the Dodgers the last couple of years.
Yeah, again, he came in as a career 278 hitter, and the defense, of course, shading him a little bit to right field.
Just off the inside corner, and Kendrick thought it was strike 3.
Well, you know what? He's one of these hitters. If you're going, in the meeting before a ball game, you say, you want to pitch him in, because if you pitch him away, he's just going to keep peppering that ball to right field. So they're trying to work him inside.
And he drives it to the gap in right center. Down for a hit. Pence backhands it. Carroll will hold with a single.
And if you don't get it in far enough, that's exactly what Jamie Carroll does. He doesn't strike out much. He's a good contact hitter. And a lot of his hits go to right field, right center. You can almost see by this swing right here. Just wants to hit the ball hard the other way. That's exactly what he did.
And you can see Ruiz setting up inside, but the pitch drifted out over the middle of the plate. Here's Span. Homered into the overhang to lead off the ball game for the Twins. That was close play, and Carroll got back.
Carroll at first base, 5 stolen bases in 8 attempts. Twins have stolen 38 bases. They've been caught 13 times.
I think it's fair to say that as the Twins are playing game number 60 of the season, 102 left, if Ron Gardenhire has his way, we'll see the Twins try to steal more with this lineup. They have more speed. They have Castillo off the bench, who could be used as a pinch runner. And it's a good stolen base success rate, 75% roughly, as a team. And Revere a big part of that. 1-1 to Span. And now 2-1. Twins as a player in the late 60s, early 70s. Span takes ball 3 with Revere on deck. Blackburn hoping that Twins can add to the lead here. It's already 3-0 Minnesota. There goes Carroll, and the pitch is ball 4. So with 2 outs, Carroll's single backed up by Span's walk, and here comes Revere.
Well, you mentioned in his first at bat, Dick, Ben Revere, the Twins do not want him to hit fly balls, and when we've seen Revere, because that average where it's at coming into the ball game at 327, because he's been hitting line drive base hits, hitting the ball through the infield somehow.
There is strike 1. Kendrick, as we said, had not given up a home run in 25 innings. Span touches him for 1 in the first inning. And now Plouffe hits another one in the second. Base hit. Carroll to third. He's going to be waved in. Pence with the throw. It's offline, and the Twins with 2 out add another run, and Revere with a sharp single to right drives in his 5th run of the year.
That's what they want out of Ben Revere right there. Use the barrel of the bat and hit line drives. Revere picking up his 5th RBI of the year, and Steve Little at third base, coach. Even though this ball got very quickly to Hunter Pitts, Jamie Carroll sent from second base. And would a good throw would have had him? Well, we'll never find out, because that throw was, you can see where that ended up. Well, the Twins take a 4-0 lead.
Here's Bauer, who bounced to second his first time up.
And on the throw home, Bernard Span scooched over to third base.
Just missing the inside corner. Kendrick has been, in the minds of some, the Phillies' most consistent starter for a good part of the year. And the Twins reach him for at least 4 early runs. Two and 0.
41 pitches, 28 strikes. Kendrick, who started the season in the bullpen, put into the rotation in late April when some of the starters started to go down, like Cliff Lee and Roy Halladay.
And that hits the corner. Bauer doesn't agree. Looks back at home plate umpire Jerry Davis.
Kendrick coming off a start against the Dodgers 6 days ago in Philly. Worked 5 2/3 innings. He walked 5. Ended up giving up 5 runs. Lost that ball game 6-5.
Bauer under the glove of Martinez. Span scores on an RBI single, and it's 5-0.
Bauer picking up his 28th RBI of the year. Good pitch right there. Not a bad pitch, but Joe opening up quickly. Just past the second baseman Martinez. Might have nicked his glove. A quick trip to the mound.
Rich Doobie, the pitching coach. You know, the home run is one thing, but you know, Carroll's single, then the walk, and a couple of other base hits. Some really costly runs given up by Kendrick with 2 out in the inning. And Willingham with runners at first and second, hoping to put up an even more crooked number, or a bigger crooked number.
Ninth man to bat so far here in the bottom of the second inning. Willingham leading the Twins with 41 RBIs. Would like to add to that. Also leading in home runs with 11.
Kendrick got Willingham on a short fly ball to right to wrap up the first inning. Ball one. That hits the outside corner. The Twins were absolutely stifled and stymied by Ryan Dempster on Sunday. The off day yesterday sparked the bats, it looks like. 5 early runs. Beer at second, Mauer at first. 2-1.
"35 pitches so far this inning." Kyle Kendrick, 46 in the ball game.
Into short center, and a collision. Rollins and Martinez collide, and the inning ends. 4 runs for the Twins on a 5-0 kickstart here in the series opener. All right, the Fanatic is here.
TC and Philly Fanatic together. What a combo. They are great. Little dance off.
Michael Martinez will lead off the third against Nick Blackburn, who's been staked to an early 5-0 lead. And Martinez takes low, ball one. They hope to get Chase Utley back at second base, but how durable he'll be with that left knee issue that he has. And we saw situations like this with the Twins last year. Again, the comparison 2-0 to Martinez. Martinez was hurt earlier this year. He played just 2 games at AAA and then was called up, not because he deserved the call up or was built up to play regularly. They just had a need.
Yeah, he fractured his left foot in spring training, started the season on a disabled list. So Martinez, who was just recalled, like you mentioned, went through the rehab and get called right back up.
Freddie Galvis was put on the disabled list with a back injury. And you can vote for the Arby's Value Player of the Game. Text the word value followed by a space in the player's name to short code 234. 234. Fans liking the Trevor Plouffe home run early on. First fly ball out for Blackburn. Here's Jimmy Rollins. And Blackburn's been right around the strike zone, but he's missed almost as often as he's hit the strike zone. 42 pitches, 22 strikes. And that's down the line. Rollins, who singled in the first, now in the third, will have an extra base hit. And he'll hold with a double. So Rollins with a one-out double.
Now Rollins with his 10th double of the year. Looked like a changeup stayed up, and he just hit that ball right past the diving Morneau, who was playing him a little bit off the line. Into the right field corner. Rawlings, the National League MVP for the Philadelphia Phillies in 2007.
Juan Pierre drew a walk. That was doubled off. Doubled up on the next ground ball. Down and away, ball one. Saw Pierre hitting the leadoff spot for the White Sox the last couple of years. White Sox leading the American League Central, and so much has been made about Konerko's great year, and he's had a great year. Adam Dunn's resurgence, and yes, that's very true. White Sox leading the division right now, largely because of Alejandro De Aza taking Pierre's spot in the leadoff spot. Diane Vicieto's done well for the White Sox. They just have a pretty well-balanced lineup right now, and frankly don't miss Pierre at all.
Well, Adam Dunn, he's a big plus too. He had 20 home runs.
White Sox leading the Cardinals 2-0 in the third in St. Louis. 2-1 to Pierre, and a strike. 2-2.
Pierre's played for 6 different organizations at the major league level. Came up with the Rockies back in 2000.
And called by Pierre.
Pierre came into the season 554 stolen bases in his career. 11 of 13 this year.
Bouncer to second. Carroll quickly to Morneau. Pierre retired. 2 away. You can click on the Fan Zone tab on the FoxSportsNorth.com homepage and win unbelievable prizes. Log on now to win a Kent Herbeck autographed baseball or bat courtesy of Carrier. And if you're not a member, it's fast, it's free, it's all at the Fan Zone tab at FoxSportsNorth.com. 2 down. Rollins at third, and here's Hunter Pence. Big at bat early in the game. Obviously, the Twins hadn't scored their runs yet. Pence came up with runners at first and second, nobody out. And Blackburn got a 2-hopper to Dozier, who started a double play. 1-0. And at the knees. And again, we saw this situation play out with the Twins last year. Pence would hit 5th, 6th, 7th in a fully staffed Philly lineup. And with all the injuries, he's hitting third. Sharply hit on the ground to Dozier. Over to Morneau. 1-out double does no damage, and the Twins still lead 5-0. Fox Sports North is brought to you by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. By CenturyLink, a different kind of communications company. CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by Grand Casino, the best stories start here. Good start for the Twins, a 4-run second, taking the lead to 5-0. Here's Justin Morneau starting the Twins third, and he takes inside, ball one. With one exception, Morneau has been the first baseman during this good stretch for the Twins. He DH'd one game, fouled back. So all these components have contributed to what has been a really entertaining couple of weeks. And so, you know, the challenge will be to try to keep Morneau healthy so he can run out there to first base, which will open up the DH spot maybe for Mauer one day. Dome at the next. Here's a liner to left center. That might run the gap. Morneau rounds first, on his way to second. Pierre's throw not in time, and it's a leadoff double, and Morneau stinging one to left center.
And that's always a great sign. I loved the article the other day about Justin. Even though he's hitting some balls out of the ballpark, he's still not happy at his performance. Good piece of hitting right there. We mention it all the time. When Justin starts taking that pitch the other way, and one thing the Twins are going to do, they're going to run on Juan Pierre out in left field. He's the one that ended up getting this ball back in. So Justin, a leadoff double, his 11th double of the year. The Twins continue to swing a hot bat. 7 hits already in this ballgame with no outs here in the third.
Noman lined a single to right center his first time up. And a breaking ball over for strike one. Kendrick endured a very long second inning, facing 9 men. Up and in, 1-1. Trying to drive the run in, hoping to at the very least pull the ball, getting Morneau to third. Up and away, 3-1 with Plouffe on deck.
Yeah, I was in earlier this afternoon, had a chance to go down and talk to Charlie Manuel and just say hello to him. Of course, a former teammate of mine back in 1970, 71, and 72. And you know, we talked about the injuries and all that stuff. And basically, what can I do? He said, you know, I got to still at the game of baseball. Got to run what I can out there, and hopefully things will work out in your favor.
The 3-1 pitch. Dolman pops up to short. Roy Smalley. Trevor Plouffe has been one of the hottest hitters and most powerful hitters in the American League.
He's got so much life in his bat when his mechanics are right. Now watch his head. This is what he and Joe Bauer have been working on. Watch how still his head stays. Right over the center of his body, never really moves forward, hits against that front leg. He has been a diver in the past, meaning his head goes toward the plate, makes him real susceptible to a lot of pitches, but he's worked very hard on that.
A hot smash fielded by Fontenot, and he throws Plouffe out, who nearly scorched one to left field for a base hit.
Yeah, nice reaction by Fontenot over at third base. That ball was almost by him. On the play, Justin has to stay at second. Fontenot diving to his left and getting up and throwing the ball across the diamond for the second out.
Now Dozier will try to get a 2-out hit to get Morneau in. Ball one.
Up here in the booth we have Dory Slater celebrating her 83rd birthday. From Savage, Minnesota. Welcome. You have your family here. Welcome up to the booth.
Dozier swings through. Strike one.
I said 81. You know, look a day over 81.
You're so used to fudging on your own age, you're doing it for everybody else.
We get a
now.
little. So she raised 7 kids by herself after her husband passed away.
Another great stop by Fontenot.
We're not hitting to him anymore.
What a tremendous inning for Mike Fontenot. 2 great plays going to his left, and Morneau's left at second base. From our Go Pro shot. Beautiful night for baseball here. We're expecting another moderate day, a little bit warmer as we work through the 3rd game of this series on Thursday night. Jim Thome will lead things off in the 4th inning. Mentioned that he was on the disabled list for about a month with back issues. Came back and against the Orioles just had a great series. 6 for 13. The home run you referenced before, a couple of doubles, 3 runs scored, 4 runs batted in. A strike and now a ball to Thome. With nobody on base, the Twins exaggerate the shift even more. They had Dozier just barely on the shortstop side of second base. 2-1. Now they have him swung over.
Thome in his 22nd year at the major league level.
A lot of people in baseball were surprised he came back after hitting his 600th home run last year in a Twins uniform, being traded to Cleveland. Some people, I think most people, thought he was going to call it quits. I don't think anybody thought he would return to the National League. There's a strike at the knees, 3-2.
Well, his relationship with Charlie Manuel, I mean, it goes way back to the Indian days. Cleveland Indian days.
Swing and a foul. Manuel, first the hitting coach when Thome came up, really responsible for Jim's evolution as one of the top power hitters in the history of the game. Another 3-2. And another foul ball. The problem the Phillies have, of course, is after interleague play is over with, they won't have a designated hitter again. Thome was hurt trying to play first base, and he's 0 for 10 with 8 strikeouts as a pinch hitter this year. So there isn't a whole lot that he can do once they play by National League rules again, other than pinch hit. And whenever he gets his first pinch hit this year, it'll be his first of the year.
Well, I'll tell you what, Dick, though, but that presence is there because he can do this. Some of the longest home runs hit here 4 of the 5 longest home runs hit by a human being has been hit here at Target Field. Well, we got to witness that a couple years.
And Tomey slides into second. A sign that his back must be feeling better. That ball in the dirt, and Mauer kept it around home plate, but Tomey took off.
Well, it'll be a wild pitch charged to Nick Blackburn. That ball gritting to the left of Joe Mauer, and Tomey's not looking to run, but then he is when he saw how far that ball got away from Mauer.
How about
Good
that
backup play by Carroll?
How about that pop-up slide by Jim Tomey?
He was ready to scoop to third.
So 1-0 now to Victorino. And up high, and Blackburn struggling with his control. The walk to Tomey, his second issued in the game.
For Blackburn, that was his first wild pitch of the year. Having a tough time getting strike one on a hitter. Get ahead in the count.
Chop to the right side. Blackburn's going to try to beat Victorino and gets there. Tomey to third. One down. And that'll bring up Ty Wigginton.
Nine ground ball outs so far for Nick Blackburn. Only one fly ball out.
Morneau playing about halfway in the infield dirt. Plouffe too, and the middle infielders back on the outfield grass with a 5-run lead. And Wigginton takes strike one. Bouncer to third. Plouffe picks it up, spins and fires. Tomey scores. It's 5-1.
When you got a 5-run lead with Tomey at third, the infield playing back, you get the out. Another ground ball out for Blackburn, but Wigginton gets his 28th RBI.
Follow the Twins with MLB.com at Bat 12 for your iPhone, iPad, Android, BlackBerry, or Windows Mobile. Get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at bat to 31826 or visit twinsbaseball.com. 2 gone, bases empty, and here's Chico Ruiz. 1-0. Ruiz doubled with 2 gone in the second and was left there.
Carlos Ruiz from Panama, 33 years old.
1-1.
Ruiz came into this season his 7th with the Phillies, a .270 career hitter. I'm surprised he never made an all-star team, but the Phillies had so many all-star players that he's probably one of those players that have always been left off because they had so many teammates that were all-stars. Looks like he's heading to the all-star game this year.
Ooh.
Watch out.
Right over Blackburn's back and right over the second base bag. And Carlos Ruiz with a 2-out single. So he and Rollins each have a single and a double so far for the only Philly hits. And here's Mike Fontenot.
Fastball, and Ruiz just dropping the barrel of the bat right back up the middle over the back of Blackburn in the center field.
Here's Mike Fontenot. Fontenot takes ball one. Phillies with 5 straight National League East titles. One and one. 3 times they advanced out of the first round of the playoffs. Twice getting to the World Series. 1-2. Winning it once, losing it the other time. Beating the Rays, losing to the Yankees.
Yeah, Nationals off to a very good start. Braves are always in there. Miami, they played very well as of late. And the Mets and the Phillies, 8.5 games back.
1-2. Driven to right, a base hit. Ruiz will hold up at second base. So down by 4 runs, the Phillies don't do what we've seen a lot of teams do. Automatically go first to third on a base hit to right. Ruiz not the fleetest of foot, and Revere charged the ball.
Well, trying to go inside right there, but a ball down pretty much middle of the plate.
So first and second. The man they call Chooch at second base. And Michael Martinez, the hitter. Up and away, ball 1.
Martinez, as I mentioned, just getting called up on June 7th. Last year with the Phillies, played in 88 ball games, but hit only 196. Utility infielder.
Under the glove of Carroll, and the Phillies do some 2-out hitting to get at least one more here in the 4th. So it's 5-2, and Rollins comes to the plate as the tying run.
Well, it all started off with that walk to Jim Thome, and then the 2 outs, but then Ruiz, Fontenot, and now Martinez. 3 singles in a row creates the second run for the Phillies.
Two outstanding plays by Mike Fontenot in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Keep the Twins from scoring, and now the Phillies come back with at least 2 in the top of the 4th. Rick Anderson to the mound. Rollins has pulled 2 hits to the right side. A single between Morneau and Carroll, and then a double between Morneau and the line. Suddenly, with 2 on the board, the Phillies get the tying run to the plate. And all-star Jimmy Rollins facing Nick Blackburn. Just off the plate, ball 1.
Rollins became a free agent after last year, and a lot of Philly fans were wondering if they're going to have him back. Finally, he did re-sign a 3-year contract with an option. They're now signed through 2015.
There's a strike. It's a great lineup. They've scored a lot of runs. They've obviously had success, but it is a lineup that is aging, and maybe that contributes to some of the injury issues. And they're in a division that has some of the best young talent in all of baseball. Speaking of the Nationals, the Marlins, the Braves. Down the left field line, and a long run for Willingham. That's a fair ball, and it rolls on the warning track, and a ball boy picks it up. So the Phillies will get another 2 runs here with Rollins going to second. Willingham got the glove on it just in fair territory, and it's a 5-4 ball game.
Yeah, the umpires now, the ball boy, shaking his head right there, but that ball that Willingham had to go a long way and did catch the ball, or right here attempted to, in fair territory right there, and then the ball just got away from him. And Martinez at first base, good speed. Now with the interference call, the umpire's judgment call, would Martinez have scored? And with his speed, they went ahead and said he would. So it's I guess a ground rule double. Would it be interference?
not fan interference, but spectator interference, I guess, with the ball boy touching it. The tying run at second. The Phillies get 4 straight 2-out hits to draw to within 1. Here's Pierre. 1-1. Blackburn's pitch count elevating up now to the upper 70s. This next pitch will be his 78th. Tapper to second. Carroll to Morneau to end the inning. But a good inning for the Phillies. The Twins had a 4-run second. Now the Phillies have a 4-run fourth. Question at carsoup.com/baseball. Phil Larson from beautiful Otsego, Minnesota. And the question is, with the Twins' number 2 overall pick, Byron Buxton, just about ready to sign, how long do we think it'll take him to make it to the major leagues?
Well, that's a good question. We don't know. Remember Aaron Hicks, he signed, what, 5 years ago? And he's at Double-A right now, so you just don't know what you're going to get. Buxton, a very talented young man, but he's got to go play minor league ball, hit with a wooden bat, and see how he can do.
Jamie Carroll leading things off. Technically, the contract hasn't been signed yet, but it will get done here shortly. He took batting practice today. Here's a look at 5 current Twins and how long it took them to get here. Someone as talented as Mauer took him 3 years. Revere 3 years. Span even longer than that. 6 years for Plouffe. Perkins actually made it as quickly as you can, just about. But the thing that separates Perkins, he was a college player. He physically was older than the other men on that chart. And so you're dealing with a high schooler, Byron Buxton, and he'll, next year be assigned to a full season of minor league play, and that's one of the biggest challenges of all, playing 140 ball games. Right. Carroll, and that ball gloved by Rollins as Carroll made a bid for a base hit, one away.
Yeah, nice play by Rollins right there.
Took batting practice today with Joe Mauer and Justin Morneau.
Well, that's got to be a thrill right there for that young man. I get an opportunity to talk to this young number 1 pick for the Twins.
I watched him take batting practice. He did hit 1 home run to the back bullpen, which, hey, 18, 19 years old, that's a pretty good poke. Span takes a ball. Now, you were a high schooler drafted by the Twins, and Obviously a pitcher, different bit of a challenge than a position player. But what was the biggest obstacle for you to overcome from high school till you finally broke into the major leagues?
I was pretty lucky. I was 15-2 in my first full year, and I got invited to spring training as an 18-year-old in 1970. I came up a month and a half later, so I spent 3.5 months in the minor leagues to get to the big leagues. The biggest obstacle was just getting a flight here to Boston to join the team. No, I think, the biggest obstacle for me was to realize that you could compete at the level, and that's what really helped me in spring training in 1970 when, you have Jim Carey, Jim Cott, Louis Tiant, Dave Boswell were the 4 starters at the time, and I knew that I had to go down and impress in AAA, hopefully, and then hopefully one day get called up. And then when Tiant and Boswell both got hurt, I just pitched a pretty good ball game, and I got the call up.
2-2 to Span.
Sometimes you have to be lucky too. Right place at the right time. Sometimes you could be a #1 pick behind, say, Cal Ripken at short in Baltimore.
Right.
You may never get to the big leagues.
Who was the guy that the Orioles had? They always said he was going to eventually take over. Manny Alexander or somebody like that. Maybe Ryan Miner, too, was on that list. And they never got a chance to really develop because there was a logjam in the big leagues. Span works out a walk. He's on base for the 3rd time today. Revere to the plate with 1 out and 1 on. July comes up, and of course the highlight for a baseball fan is the All-Star Game. The road to the World Series begins with the 2012 MLB All-Star Game Tuesday, July 10th at 6:30 Central on Fox.
Yeah, second walk for Kendrick, both of them being Denard Span.
1-run ball game, and the Twins hoping to get a run or two back here in their half of the 4th. But in your case, being away from home, you probably ran away from home so often as a teenager.
My parents were happy I was gone.
I know, but
one less mouth to
Mom
feed.
wasn't there to do the laundry and all that kind of stuff, fix your meals for you.
I was ready. I was very fortunate. I felt I was ready to try professional baseball. I had a scholarship to a college that I could have went to, but I wanted to play ball. That's all I wanted to do.
1 strike to Revere. Revere's options, rather than sign with the Twins to go to college, and actually he could have played some baseball or some football. But once he became a #1 draft pick, there was some thought that he wasn't going to be drafted in the 1st round at all. But once he was, he committed, and his family endorsed his commitment to being a professional baseball player.
Ben Revere, drafted by the Twins in 2007 out of Lexington Catholic High School in Kentucky.
1 strike to Revere. Chopped foul. 2 strikes. The one thing Revere has done successfully is put the ball in play. So Savary warming up. One of 3 lefties the Phillies have. On the outside corner, and that is just the 7th strikeout this year. And 104 at bats for Ben Revere.
Yeah, like a backdoor slide breaking ball right there. Ruiz sitting outside. And Fox Track says it's a bit outside. Kendrick picking up his 2nd strikeout.
And now Mauer, an RBI single his last time up. Ball might have hit Span. It almost rolled past Wigginton. I think the throw hit Span and might never have even touched Wigginton's glove.
Let's take a look right here. Yeah, underneath the glove of Wigginton and hitting the left arm of Bernard Span. See the right arm.
Outside, ball one. Bauer got to the big leagues quickly after being a #1 draft pick. I guess I've always had an admiration for players like Miguel Cabrera. Maybe the Twins will have one soon. And Miguel Sano, drafted at such a young age, or signed at such a young age, having to leave the country, learn a language, and then make all the adjustments that high schoolers have to make here. Deep to center field. Off the wall, Span will score. Mauer has an RBI double. And the Twins get at least one back in the fourth. Just on the extended wall area in right center field. If it had been 10 feet over, it might have sailed over the fence.
Joe Mauer crushed this ball right here. Watch this pitch. And Joe hitting it sharply and hit that ball 400 feet for an RBI double, his 14th double of the year, and his second RBI of the ball game on his second hit.
So Span has scored 3 runs already for the Twins. Here's Willingham, a fly ball to right, a pop up behind second base. Now a chopper to third. Fontenot has it. Over to Wigginton, and the inning ends. So they get a 2-out double from Joe Mauer to get a run back. They lead by 2.
There you go, group. You are hereby circled. Welcome to Target Field, and happy birthday, young man.
Well, the Twins lead by a pair. It was a 5-run lead. Hunter Pence on a check swing. Strike one. It'll be Pence leading off the 5th, then Tomey and Victorino.
Well, the Twins put 5 runs on the board, and then you give up 4, and they get 1 right back. That's a big inning right here for Nick Blackburn.
The next pitch will be his 80th. 1-1. Off the end of the bat, 1-2. Pence with 2 ground balls to short. The first one started a double play.
Blackburn in his second start, coming back from the disabled list in his last start in Kansas City. He got the win, but he went 5 innings. Good breaking ball right there, just missing down. He threw 92 pitches in 50, and 51 were strikes. He gave up that 2-run home run to Betancourt, then put 4 zeros on the board after that.
Swinging a foul back. Roy Smalley, Hunter Pence is one of the more active hitters even before the pitch is thrown.
Yeah, he's got a lot of movement, a lot of get ready, doesn't he? But he gets in good position, and all good hitters get to the same spot eventually. He just takes a little bit more motion to get there.
Driven to right. Revere retreating and making the catch on the track. Pretty well hit ball for the first out of the 5th.
Boy, nice running catch right there by Ben Revere, utilizing his speed to catch up to that. Yeah, Pence, I mean, this guy, yeah, he's all over the place, but 290 career hitter. Last year hit 314 between the Astros and the Philadelphia Phillies.
Well, if you look at him here, he's got a big leg kick. His bat is moving up and down. They used to call that a hitch. Maybe they still do, but he gets in real good position by the time the ball gets into the hitting zone.
Jim Thome takes strike 1. I like him just because you see him choke up on the bat. I don't see anybody do that anymore. Down low, 1-1.
Jamie Carroll does.
Jamie Carroll. You don't see many.
No.
Deep to left field toward the corner, but foul.
Ooh.
And that had enough to clear the wall. It missed the pole, it looked like, by about 2.5, 3 feet. That was almost one of those Rick Reed specials. Remember, Thome hit so many home runs against Rick Reed when he was with the Twins, and half of them went to the opposite field.
I'll tell you what, even at 41 years old, he'll be 42 in August. This guy just so strong. That ball just kept slicing away.
I guess it did not have enough to clear the wall. I thought it hit the limestone, but it hit the padded wall. 1-2. A little nubber, and it's foul. In the batter's box, but in the judgment of Jerry Davis, in foul territory. Part of the batter's box is in fair territory. Most of it's in foul.
Yeah,
territory.
good effort right here by Joe Mauer, trying to get this ball as quick as he can to get it and keep it in fair territory, but the ball just kind of spun back into foul territory.
1-2.
Oh boy.
Just missed the corner.
Well, Thome, not only with all the power, excellent eye at the plate. Fox Track says it was away.
Oh, floated a changeup over the outside corner and got the strikeout.
Yeah, pitcher's pitch right there. That might also have been away, but Jerry Davis says that's strike 3. So Blackburn picks up his first strikeout.
AT&T trivia. I wonder if Jim Thome might be part of the answer. You think? Who are the 2 Phillies managers that won the World Series?
Jim's not managing yet.
The shame of it is Jim wasn't a part of the team that won the World Series a few years ago. We'll give you a hint. The other World Series was back in 1980. Up the middle and a base hit for Victorino with 2 out in the 5th. Ty Wigginton. That was a long drought when you think the Phillies, they've been around forever, literally, in the National League, and they didn't win their first one until 1980.
Yeah, I was with the Pirates from 1978 to 1980, and boy, there were some heated confrontations between the Phillies and the Pirates in those 3 years.
For bragging rights in the state of Pennsylvania,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Here's Wigginton. Drove in a run with a ground ball his last time up. He's hit 2 balls on the ground against Blackburn.
And the other manager, what a nice man he was. You know who it is?
Oh, yeah, I know, yeah.
Very, very nice man. Got to meet him a couple times down in Florida. He lived over on the East Coast and came over and played in some golf tournaments during the winter. Brian Dunsing starting to get loose. 92 pitches for Blackburn.
Dozier flips to second, and they get the force play there.
Nice play.
A scoreless fifth. The Twins still lead by 2.
Minnesota in the saddle, 6-4. We are in the Minnesota Lottery winner's circle with $100 of scratch-off tickets to a couple of newlyweds who have now had the opportunity to be circled by a Hall of Famer, Burt Blythen. We are with John and Melissa, who made the trek down from St. Cloud. Melissa, these are great seats. Dangerous when left-handed hitters are at the plate. Who's your favorite player?
Justin Morneau.
Of course, Justin Morneau. And while you're in the Minnesota State Lottery winner's circle, guess who's coming to bat, guys? Justin Morneau and Melissa and John are hoping that in this at-bat, a fitting finish to this hit, a home run ball in their lap. We'll see if it happens. It's a call right now there, Mr. Bramer.
Okay.
Well, congratulations to those newlyweds, and you are hereby circled. Ron Gardenhire, Rick Anderson, congratulating Nick Blackburn. His night is done. 5 innings, 95 pitches. He's with a 6-4 lead.
Morneau at the plate with a double his last time up.
Bill Slavery coming into the ball game. Like you mentioned, one of 3 left-handers out on that bullpen. A bullpen that has really struggled this year for Charlie Emanuel. He said, I got a lot of young arms out there. They have good stuff, but we just have not quite exactly fit their roles yet. What are their roles? Of course, Jonathan Papelbon is the closer. But other than that, they just haven't been able to say, okay, you're kind of what the Twins have been able to do.
And what they couldn't do last year again. Another comparison to what happened here last year. 1-2 to Morneau. He'll be followed by Doman and Plouffe. Fouled into the seats down the left field line.
Slavery, 26 years old, in his second season with the Phillies. Last year came up, appeared in only 4 ball games. Scouting report says a fastball in the low 90s, a slurve-type slider, and a very good changeup. Signed by the Phillies in 2007 out of Rice University.
And Morneau strikes out to start the 5th.
That looked like a slider right there.
If you act today, you can get a steal of a deal when the Twins host the Royals Friday, June 29th. For a limited time, you can get a home plate view ticket for just $28. This deal against the Royals is available by logging on to twinsbaseball.com. or by calling 800-33-TWINS. You can also check out some of the other great ticket offers here at Target Field. Domit takes ball one.
Domit now hitting as a right-handed hitter, where he's hitting .235. Two home runs from the right side of the plate.
That's to right. Pence coming in, and he'll play it by the hop. He won't play it at all. Domit rounding second, going to third, and he's in on a little flare in front of and then behind Hunter Pence.
Boy, as an outfielder, he knows he should have gotten in front of that ball. It'll be a base hit and then a two-base error by Pence, allowing Domit to go from first to third. Pence coming in, and that ball, that's not the way that you play that ball right there. You have to get your body in front of it. The ball got by him.
Phillies bring the infield in back in the third inning when this game kind of swung out of the Twins' favor. The Phillies got back into it. Twins got a leadoff double and never did get Morneau in. Now Domit at third with one out, and Plouffe up the middle, off the glove of Rollins. And Plouffe is driven in another run. Domit scores, and it's 7-4.
Well, jumping on that first pitch, Trevor Plouffe hitting her right back up the middle. He picks up his third RBI of the ball game. And the Twins put their lead now to 7-4.
When you've hit 10 home runs and you've only driven in 20 runs, obviously there are situations that you haven't produced in, and that single up the middle, I'll bet you Ron Gardenhire will talk about that after the game, about situations like that that Plouffe's done a better job at now, getting that runner in from third, getting the run batted in. The home runs are nice, but strike one, now strike two to Dozier. Plouffe can be a much more reliable run producer the more he excels driving men in without hitting a home run.
I think what we're seeing out of Trevor Plouffe, a guy that comes to the ballpark now, knows that he's in the lineup. You know, he's got the confidence, and he's making the most out of it. Roy, that has to be a big factor in Trevor Plouffe's success.
You're right, Bert. It's a huge factor, where before he didn't know if he was going to be in the lineup, sent back down to AAA, but he knows he's going to be in there. His confidence is high. But the other thing, Dick, you made a really good point. I think Trevor Plouffe's hit more balls up the middle and to right field this year in this streak than we've seen him hit maybe ever. I mean, he's been a very pull-oriented guy as Brian Dozier strikes out, but he's been a very pull-oriented guy. He kind of wrapped around the ball, trying to hit the ball left, and he's worked very hard at being in the center of diamond in tough situations, just like that one right there. And you're right, Dick. I think Ron Gardenhire is going to love that one as much as the home run.
Here's Jamie Carroll, a single and a run scored, and a pop up to short. Squirted down the right field line, foul. One strike. Twins did nice job of 2-out hitting in the second inning. They'd already scored a couple on Plouffe's home run. And then with 2 out, Carroll singled, Span walked, Revere singled, Bauer singled. There were 2 more runs up on the board. The Phillies jumped back into the game with some good 2-out hitting of their own. 1 strike. That's deep down the left field line. A fair ball into the corner. Plouffe to third. The ball hangs up in the corner, and another big 2-out hit by Carroll. And the Twins lead us back to 4. We've seen him wear out the right field line, and here it looked like he put it right on top of the left field line.
Well, you know what? We talked about his previous at-bat, how the Phillies are trying to work him inside, and what Carroll does, he makes the adjustment. That breaking ball left up and hit right on that chalk line into the corner, and then it kind of stayed in the corner. That ball stayed not going into the stands.
Somebody find out who that fan is there in the gray Twins jersey. I'll buy him a beverage. For not reaching over, and very likely, I suspect, holding Plouffe at third base.
Yeah, that ball goes in the stands. It's a ground rule double or fan interference, and Plouffe has to stay at third.
Fan interference. The umpires have the option of awarding a third base, but they rarely do. And that fan deserves some credit for not reaching over, interfering with the ball in play, and it may have led to a Twins run. So here's Span. He's reached and scored 3 times.
You can see it a lot of times. It'll ricochet back, but it hit right there and stayed in the corner. And Pierre has to go into that corner and retrieve it.
Savory comes in, gives up a couple of runs. The error by Pence didn't help. And now strike one to Span. Twins have scored in every inning but the third, and they could very easily have scored in the third except for 2 outstanding plays by Mike Fontenot.
Span got the offense going with a home run leading off the bottom of the first, and then a couple walks.
And now a fastball, strike 2. Any idea what the conversation would have been about between Charlie Manuel and second base umpire Manny Gonzalez?
No, I do not. Not with the second base umpire in that situation.
One and two. Span really had to work out the walk in the 4th inning. He fell behind, ended up getting the walk. Then Mauer followed with a double. And as you said at the time, that was an important run for the Twins because the Phillies had just scored 4 times. Mauer's 2-out double scored Span, and the momentum was regained. 2 and 2. Told now that while everything was going on, the Phillies threw over to third base, apparently claiming that Plouffe missed the bag. When I looked up, it looked like he almost tripped over the bag, but maybe the Phillies saw it differently. It's ball 3.
He hit the bag. Take a look at Trevor Plouffe right here. Does he hit the bag?
Yeah, he almost snapped his ankle. Full count to Span. Popped up. Ruiz, the catcher, ends the inning. The Twins get 2 more in the 5th, and the lead has grown back to 4. pitch. Both starters are out of the game. Blackburn completed 5. His top pitch 91 miles per hour. Kendrick at 90. And Kendrick taken out of the ball game after 4 innings. Blackburn gets through 5. He can qualify for the win if the Twins bullpen can do what it's done just about every time out this year, starting with Dunsing, and that is finish off the ball game. Dunsing coming into the ball game for the 27th time.
Yeah, Nick Blackburn worked the first 5 innings. They did give up 8 hits, 4 runs, all earned with a walk and a strikeout. Big thing for Blackburn, I think you have to look back at this ball game, is that he had that 5-0 lead and then got the Phillies right back into the ball game by giving up 4. But then he put a 0 in the 5th inning. But only 24 batters. He was only strike 1 on 9 of the 24.
Here's Carlos Ruiz. There's strike 1. Ruiz with a pair of hits, then Mike Fontenot and Michael Martinez. Two strikes. Ruiz such a good handler of a pitching staff, and he's had an added challenge this year with all the chaos, with guys like Halladay. You see what Ruiz has done, what his reputation is. You realize, who his rotation has been. Yeah. They've had some top shelf pitchers pretty deeply through that rotation, including Joe Blanton's a pretty good pitcher when he's on his game, and you don't even hear much about him.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see Cole Hamels tomorrow night.
Pulled foul.
I think that would be the hard part when you are catching a guy like Roy Halladay and Cliff Lee, Cole Hamels, Joe Blanton sitting right there. You got some guys that aren't afraid to attack the strike zone, and then you're bringing up young kids like Charlie Manuel said that are kind of all over the place. It's hard to get them, back into that strike zone.
1-2 to Ruiz. And now 2-2. Reds beat the Indians 7-1. Indians started the day a half game behind the White Sox, 8 games ahead of the Twins. And now 3-2. Bottom third of the Philly lineup. Fontenot on deck. And another foul. Tigers are trailing the Cubs at Wrigley Field 3-0. Tigers hoping to build off that improbable come from behind win against Aroldis Chapman and the Reds bullpen on Sunday night. Four 2-strike fouls for Ruiz. Five. Ruiz a great handler of pitchers, and right now he's working over Dunsing.
Yeah, Dunsing pitched only once in that Chicago series, the Cubs series. And that was Sunday, an inning and a third through 10 pitches, 8 for strikes. He's needed all 10 pitches already against Ruiz. The 11th pitch is ball 4.
So Ruiz works out a walk to start the 6th inning. AT&T trivia. Charlie Manuel won a World Series a few years ago
Danny Ozark.
No, Dallas Green.
It was a Dallas Green.
Yeah.
I would have bet Danny Ozark. Wow.
Dallas Green. And the Phillies beat the Royals. First time the Royals went to the World Series in 1980. They finally got by the Yankees that year. Of course, just one playoff round.
I didn't play golf with Dallas Green.
I was wondering.
With Danny Ozark.
I mean, Dallas Green's always been nice to me, but I don't know that that's his reputation of being just a wonderful gentleman. 1-1. That was the year that George Brett nearly hit 400 for the Royals. They went into the World Series with an awful lot of momentum. And the Phillies behind Mike Schmidt and Steve Carlton finally brought a championship to Philadelphia. There's a strike on the outside corner, 1-2.
Tug McGraw was on that team.
Yes, he was.
Yes, he was.
It was actually the first World Series games I ever went to. Royals had a player, John Wathan, who was and still is a good friend of mine, so I got to go to the games in Kansas City. Just off the corner, and it's 2-2.
Pretty good close pitch right here. Fastball. Joe holding it for a second. Box track says it was a bit outside.
Breaking pitch gets a strikeout. 1 down.
Well, the fastball just missing away, so Dunsing throws the 2-2 breaking ball. And Fontenot swings through it.
Had ample opportunity in Southern California with the Dodgers to get to some World Series games. At least the World Series was fairly close to you. What was the first World Series game you ever went to? Couldn't have been the one you played in 79.
1979.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You didn't go to any of the Dodgers World Series games as a kid? Or?
No, not even 65 when the Twins came out.
Right. 1 strike to Martinez. Two and 1.
Martinez hitting as a right-handed hitter for the first time.
Foul tip, strike 2.
Beautiful evening here at Target Field.
Absolutely gorgeous. Busted bat, and that'll die in right center field for a base hit. Ruiz will hold up at second base. Most of the bat ended up between the mound and third base.
I got jammed right there, but Martinez just hitting it softly into center field for his second hit. Oh, getting sawed off right there. My goodness, good the barrel of a bat take off. The handle still in his hand as he's running down the first baseline.
Phillies threatening here in the 6th, down by 4, and Jimmy Rollins, who has 3 hits and 2 runs batted in, will again come up with men on base.
Yeah, Rawlings now hitting as a right-handed hitter for the first time. He's hitting .206 as a right-handed hitter.
Foul back, a strike.
Already with 3 hits in the ballgame. Rollins in his first at bat. A base hit, a double in the 3rd, and then a 2-run double in the 4-run 4th.
Pass, Plouffe into left field. Plouffe went to his left. The ball hopped over his glove. And of course, if he had made the catch, they might have been able to get out of the inning with a double play.
Jimmy Rollins getting his 4th hit of the ball game. Watch this ball hit sharply, but it just kind of skipped past Plouffe, just out of his reach. Everybody advancing a base.
Philly's going to go to their bench here and take Pierre out of the ball game and bring in John Mayberry Jr. So just the 6th inning, but Charlie Manuel, because of the situation, going to his bench. Mayberry with some power and a right-handed batter. And so with 1 out, Mayberry stands in as the tying runner.
Mayberry 4 for 16 as a pinch hitter. Ron Gardenhire coming out, as you saw Alex Burnett loosening up in the bullpen. And now Burnett will be coming in.
So it'll be Burnett relieving Dunsing, who retires just 1 of the 4 men he faces. The 6th inning. Twins and Phillies wrap up the series Thursday night here at Target Field. It's a Sports Authority value pack game. You can get a ticket in the U.S. Bank Home Run Porch View section and get a free Schweigert hot dog and Pepsi. Call 833-TWINS or visit twinsbaseball.com. Check out all the options for Thursday's game at Target Field. The long battle with Ruiz, lost to a walk, broken back single, a 2-hopper through the hole, and now they're loaded up for Alex Burnett.
Yeah, not the situation you want to come into, bases loaded and 1 out. But Alex Burnett put in that situation. Maybe he can get a ground ball. Maybe Twins can turn a double play. 6 of 22 as far as first pitch strikes or hitters. And only 3 of 9 inherited runners have scored with Burnett on the mound.
Well, he's got 3 out there now with John Mayberry Jr. Right-handed batter.
Mayberry in his 4th season with the Phillies takes a strike.
Inside, around the hands, 1-1. Mayberry, the most frequently used pinch hitter that the Phillies have, only because Jim Thome was on the disabled list for about a month.
15 home runs last year for Mayberry.
On the outside corner, 1-2.
His father had a lot of power. John Mayberry, left-handed hitter. mainly for the Kansas City Royals. Also played for the Astros, the Blue Jays, and the Yankees. 255 career home runs for his pops.
One and two. Bouncer to third. Plouffe has it. Fires to first. Second out of the inning. A run scores. And now two runners in scoring position. Plouffe looked briefly at second and then threw to first.
Yeah, Rawlings going from first to second pretty speedy right there. So Plouffe could have gone to second, but it would have been a bang-bang play, making sure he gets an out, and he went over to first base.
And now that sets up Pence, who comes to the plate as the tying run, and a hit to the outfield will likely draw the Phillies to within a run again. Pence lined out to the warning track in right field his last time up. Up high, ball one. Of course, hitting behind Pence is Jim Thome. Missing inside, 2-0.
You know, a couple of years ago when these two teams hooked up in Philadelphia, there was a combined 16 home runs in that three-game series, 42 runs scored. Twins winning 2 of 3. And a lot of offense so far in this ball game. 21 hits, 13 runs. And we're in the 6th inning.
All the home runs in that series. And that year, Nick Punto hit 1 home run all year, and it was in that series. 3-0 to Pence.
Drew Butera hit his first career home run in that Saturday day game.
Sal was there to watch it.
Yep.
Inside. And a walk to fill the bases for Thome. So Burnett trying so hard to settle the matter with Pence. He never threw him a strike. And now Thome with the bases full and 2 out. Thome with a ground ball, a walk, and a strikeout. Lace to the left field corner. Willingham will backhand it and fire toward third base. So 2-run score, and Thome delivers, and it's a 1-run ball game.
Boy, and Hunter Pence, was he flying from first to third base.
You don't know, of course, but if Willingham tries to make the throw to second base, you wonder whether Juan Samuel might not have sent Pence. So 3 runs charged to Brian Dunsink, and the Phillies are right back in the game.
Tracy Maurer wanting that pitch middle in, and it's away, and Jim Thome just going with it. And Thome with a big 2-run RBI single.
Tying run at third, 2 away, and here's Victorino. Twins had a 5-run lead. Phillies drew to within 1. 4-run lead, and it's back to a 1-run lead. Victorino, hand up the bat barrel, takes ball 1. Fly ball left field, and Willingham over to squeeze it. Good inning for the Phillies as they get 3 runs against the Twins bullpen, and it's back to a 1-run game.
And with a look ahead to tomorrow's forecast, well, we do have the tail end of a warm front that's going to start to sneak into the area out of the west. That's going to allow for those clouds to increase. Also can't rule out an isolated thunderstorm.
64 degrees right now, calm, mostly clear. Trevor Fleck, one of our producers, showing his dedication to the game. Not working tonight, but he's still here with his free tickets. One strike to Ben Revere, leading off the sixth against Savory. Jabbed at it. It's a strike. Now 2 of them.
Well, Twins have scored a run or more in every inning except the third. John Mayberry staying in the ball game. He pinched hit for Juan Pierre last inning, top of the sixth.
0-2 to Ben Revere. High hopper over the mound, and that'll be Revere's second hit of the ball game. A line RBI single in the second, and now a leadoff chopper. High chopper over the mound, you call those, right?
You gotta love those high choppers over the mound, and watch Ben Revere speed up that first baseline into center field.
So the leadoff man is on, and that brings up Mauer. With a couple of RBI hits, a single in the second, a double, nearly a home run in the fourth. Strike one.
Well, a speedy Revere at first base, 9 stolen bases in 10 attempts. Savory looks like he's pretty quick home.
Throwing strikes to Mauer, 0-2.
Well, Ben Revere, since getting called up in the middle of May, 9 for 10 in stolen base attempts. I think the only time he was thrown out is when he slid past the bag.
You're right. Head first slide, and runners try to hook the bag with their foot, and he went past the bag.
Right.
Ooh. Mauer was close to being called out on strikes there. That was a very close pitch.
See what Fox Tracks shows?
Outside.
Good outside.
One and 2 to Mauer. Fouled back.
Rosenberg just getting loose, a right-handed reliever just getting called up, warming up in the bullpen.
And an interesting major league debut. If he gets in, we'll tell you about that. 1 and 2 to Mauer. When the Phillies got 4 runs in the top of the 4th inning, the Twins answered with a run of their own. Now they'll try to answer a 3 spot for the Phillies. Just off the plate again, and it's 2 and 2.
Oh, the eye of Joe Mauer.
Charlie Manuel giving some heat to Jerry Davis. Fox Track shows these pitches outside, but Mauer had a strike called out there on one of his earlier at bats, so takes a little courage to stand up there and take a pitch when you've had one called on you out there. Now Revere picked off, and he's out. So Revere caught stealing on a pickoff.
And he was going on first movement there by Savory. And he stepped over, quick throw over to Rawlings. And Revere is tagged out for the first out of the inning.
Turned out to be a close play. 2-2 now to Bauer. And he struck him out. 2 down. Twins need a pick-me-up here. This Philly team has come back at the Twins twice. See if Willingham can get something started with 2 gone in the 6th.
Savory picking up his 3rd strikeout in relief, his 2nd inning of relief.
Willingham hitless in the game. A fly ball to right, a pop-up behind second base, and a grounder to 3rd. Off the plate outside. A lot of production from the Twins lineup. Dozen hits and 8 runs. The in-game
home
box
runs,
score.
yeah, 1 by Span, 1 by Plouffe.
Check swing. Did he go? Nope. 2-0. Willingham having a great year, but he's hitting right-handers much better than left-handers. Lefties at a 225 clip. Blasted to left. Foul. He absolutely crushed that ball, and it hooked foul.
That limestone's pretty strong out there. And I'll tell you what, somebody put a crack in a limestone. My goodness. Ball left up. A powerful swing by Willingham. It hit the top of the wall.
Oh, it hit the fence.
Ouch. Broke that guy's hand.
2-1. And now a strike on the outside corner. Ooh. Over Morno's head and into the seats right behind the on-deck circle. Can't imagine the Phillies want to pitch Willingham anything inside after what he did on that foul ball. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Down and in, and it's a full count. Morno to follow. Deep to left center field.
Oh, my.
That ball was crushed. And Willingham hits his 12th of the year. And the lead is back to 2.
Wow. That is a blast right there. He just missed one earlier in this at-bat down the left field line. A breaking ball. And he hit it into the bullpen. And Jared Burton making a nice catch.
And now Morno. The Twins have hit 3 home runs in this game. And now Morno with a bat absolutely explode. And he is retired. The Twins do get one back in the 6th. Twins have led all night long, and now the lead is 2. A lot of runs and a lot of Twins home runs.
Started in the bottom of the first inning. Denard Span giving the Twins an early 1-0 lead. Later in the game, in the second, Trevor Plouffe, a 2-run home run. Twins took a 5-0 lead, but the Phillies came back. Rollins with a ball right down that left field line. And the Twins came back again. Jamie Carroll, the ball down the line for a double. Jim Thome driving in a couple runs with a base hit to left field. And if you're watching, Josh Willingham hit a home run in the bottom of the sixth.
And with the Willingham home run, another $14,000 has been raised to support prostate cancer research. To make a donation, you can call 800-798-CURE or go online to www.pcf.org. It was kind of a nice play by Willingham, getting that Thome smash down the line, getting it back into third base. As you said, Pence was flying, and if Willingham makes the throw to second base, they may have sent Pence around with what would have been the tying run.
Right.
Wigginton on a check swing against Jared Burton, and it's strike one. Wigginton with 3 ground balls to the left side, one of them driving in a run. Burton, if it goes as the Twins have it sketched out, you can imagine Burton going the 7th, Perkins going the 8th, and maybe Matt Capps the 9th. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
Well, that's that changeup that Burton has, like a circle changeup, and the bottom just has fallen out of it. Burton got roughed up a little bit here on Sunday. He pitched 1 inning, did give up a couple runs, 1 earned run against the Cubs. Cubs won that game 8-2.
One and 2 to tie Wigginton. Carlos Ruiz and Mike Fontenot will follow. Another grounder left side. Plouffe digs it out, fires on the run in time to get Wigginton. 1 away.
Nice play right there by Trevor Plouffe, having to come in and on the run make sure you throw something on that ball to get Wigginton, who was hustling down that line. Always that swinging bunt. I'm sure for a third baseman, it's one of the hardest plays. Come in, played a little short hop, and then a flip over to Morneau for the first out.
Twins were trying to find a position for Trevor Plouffe through last year and so far this year. And who would have thought, apparently, his position is and will be third base.
Well, who would have thought that Danny Valencia was going to have the year that he had to be down in AAA? So that kind of opened up the opportunity, and Plouffe has made the most out of it.
Just missing the inside corner, 1-1. But how many times did we hear that Trevor Plouffe is going to be converted to an outfielder? And there in the comparisons, Michael Kadire never really blossomed until he was given an outfield position. And that was going to be Plouffe's model to follow. Well, necessity required. The Twins move him back to the infield. The power, the RBIs, the rapidly increasing batting average. He cuts this one off. And the throwing, which has been remarkable. Remember all the trouble he had making throws from short. And that was one of his more errant throws that he's had at third base, and Morneau was still able to catch it.
Well, I think one thing at third base, the ball's hit to you a lot quicker, so you have the time to get underneath your feet. You know, right here, you've got a chance to set up and make a good solid throw. Now, the throw a little bit high, but Justin at 6'5" has an opportunity to get that down. He's done a good job there. Only 3 errors in 48 chances.
There's Mike Fontenot. Fontenot with a single and a run scored in the 4-run fourth. Twins have given up a 4 spot and a 3 spot, and they still lead by 2. Change up on the outside corner, 1-1. You look at Burton's stuff, his demeanor on the mound, and you could imagine a world, at least I can, where he could be a closer someday. Busted bat flare dying in center field. And Fontenot has his second hit. I mean, Burton can strike people out. He seems unflappable on the mound. The one thing he has not been able to prove yet is the durability that you would need to be a closer, to pitch 3 days in a row. As it is, the Twins are still hesitant to use him in back-to-back games.
Yeah, he had right shoulder surgery in April of last year, and last year was kind of a rehab year, so Twins are hoping as the summer continues. They've tried it one time back-to-back days. That's been it. Pretty much every other day if possible.
Just foul. Martinez poking it down the line. With a generous gun, we've seen Burton clocked at 96 miles per hour. A paralyzing changeup. One of the best reliever free agent signings in all of baseball. This one hooked foul down the right field line.
Yeah, even though you mentioned earlier, this is 60th game for the Twins. And for Burton, this is his 26th appearance, so it's been almost every other day.
Nice catch by the man with the glove. And a base hit to right. The Phillies are coming back at the Twins again. Martinez gets his third straight hit. First and third with 2 away for Rollins, who already has 4 hits.
And not a bad pitch, a fastball down, but Martinez just went down and hit this ball sharply between first and second. Fontenot with good speed, he scoots over to third. Bottom of the order for the Phillies, 7 through 9, 7 for 11. With a walk, they scored 4 runs.
So there's a reason Rollins has been up in some key situations, and he's already got a 4-hit night going. Driven in 2, he scored 1. Burton will try to get Rollins and keep the lead at 2. Drifts outside, ball 1. Hits the corner, 1-1. A lot of these Philly hitters have seen Burton before, so they have something bookmarked on him. Rollins has faced him a couple of times, gotten a base hit. Popped up near second base. And Dozier ends the inning. The 2 hits do no damage. The Twins still lead by 2. on Fox Sports North is brought to you by McDonald's. Quench your thirst. Get any size soft drink or sweet tea for just $1. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T. Rethink possible. Kind of a wild game here. The Twins are out slugging the Phillies. 9-7. Good inning for Jared Burton.
A lot of hits. 26 total hits. 16 runs. B.J. Rosenberg coming in, making just his second major league appearance since being called up from the minor leagues.
Now, you've gotten a lot of mileage out of your story about your first major league appearance, your start. The first guy who you faced hit a home run. His name again was Lee May, right. Well, Rosenberg gets called up and really gets thrown into the fire. And the last guy he faced hit a walk-off home run in his major league debut. Now that, I mean, we wish for Rosenberg he pitches for 23 years. Probably not going to happen, but that's got to be a tougher one to overcome when you have to walk off the field in your major league debut.
Yeah, at least I got a new ball.
It was the other night in Baltimore. Adam Jones in extra innings walked off Rosenberg and the Phillies.
Yeah, B.J. Brian James Rosenberg, 26 years old, signed by the Phillies out of the University of Louisville in 2008, making just his second major league debut.
2-1 to Ryan Doman.
Fastball slider type pitcher.
Fouled back. 2-2.
Fastball there, clocked at 94.
And all the Phillies have suffered 7 walk-off losses this year. And the one the other night in Baltimore went to Rosenberg. Ooh, tried to check his swing and he went through. It's strike 3, 1 away. And Trevor Blufel hit next. He's already had a very good night.
He came in hot and he has stayed hot. A 2-run home run in the second inning and an RBI base hit up the middle in that 5th inning.
Had a hit taken away by Mike Fontenot in the 3rd inning.
He's enjoyed playing at third base. You see 20 ball games hitting over 300. 6 of his 9 home runs coming as a third baseman.
Big swing and a miss. We haven't seen Bluf miss many pitches in the inner half of the plate. Pitch up and out of the strike zone. 2 strikes. And Rosenberg hooks the fastball. 1-2. And 2-2. Full count. Dozier on deck. Jake Dickman. Glenn Perkins, an observer after warming up. To right center field. Victorino chasing it. He won't get it. Makes a great play on the carom, and Bluf has a double, and he hit that ball every bit as hard as he hit the home run. A 3-hit night, remembering the great play by Fontenot that took a hit away from him in the 3rd.
Remember, the second strike was high, and you said, you know, he hasn't swung at too many of those. This pitch down, and again, Bluf looking so comfortable on that pitch down in the strike zone. Good contact right there. And the power that he can generate over the head of the speedy Victorino. And Victorino getting that ball back in, like you said, quickly. But a one-out double for Plouffe, his third hit of the ball game.
Check swing, a foul tip, a strike to Dozier. Boy, as hard as that ball hit the fence, and Victorino was able to short hop it on the carom, that ball gets by him. Plouffe might have had a second home run. Swing and a miss, and Dozier getting worked over here. He's 0 for 3. Struck out his last time up. And he averaged down to 231. Rosenberg got ahead of Plouffe 0-2, then it ran full. It gave him something to hit. Plouffe smashed it. Now it's 2-2 to Dozier. Breaking ball. Took it for strike 3.
And Dozier knew it.
That'll bring up Jamie Carroll.
Now the hard slider right there just kind of froze Dozier, and he knew it. So Rosenberg gets his second strikeout.
Carroll with a couple of hits. He takes a strike. Carroll with a couple of big 2-out hits. A single with 2 out and the bases empty in the second. The Twins scored 2 more runs after his hit. And an RBI double with 2 outs in the 5th. And another 2-out hit. Plouffe around third. He's coming in. The throw coming through. Plouffe scores, and Jamie Carroll with 3 huge 2-out hits.
Boy, Rosenberg threw that fastball right by him for strike 1. Then he threw the slider, and Jamie Carroll got good wood on it. Just went down, hit it sharply into right center. Victorino comes up, makes a good throw home as Ruiz tried to block the plate. And the Twins have scored in every inning. That's the good point. Other than the third, they have kept adding on to this lead.
And right now the lead is 3 in another Philly pitching change. A lot of hits, a lot of runs, a lot of home runs for the Twins. They got a 3-run lead. Whether they'll admit it or not, Twins players believe in superstition. Log on to FoxSportsNorth.com. Read Tyler Mason's story about the players' superstitions. That includes, I think again tonight, wearing the M cap. Yep. The Twins starting on Memorial Day wore the M cap, and they had a good ball game that day, and they haven't had many bad ball games since. So why change?
That's right. Stay with it. Stay with a hot hand. Jake Diekman coming into the ball game for Diekman in his rookie season. Another one of those young kids that Charlie Manuel was talking about. He just doesn't know what role they're going to play in, but making his 12th Major League appearance. He got called up on May 11th from AAA.
Ten runs, 15 hits for the Twins. Span has reached 3 times and scored 3 times. Left-handed crossfire delivery.
Fastball in the low 90s, sweeping breaking ball, and a changeup. Diekman just 25 years old. See where he steps toward that first baseline.
To Span. Mentioned he's reached 3 times, twice on walks. Homered to start the ball game for the Twins. Revere on deck.
And the most important thing for a leadoff hitter, he has scored 3 times.
At the knees, 3-1. Both teams have really been productive with 2 outs in some key spots. Carroll's been Exhibit A, 3 big 2-out hits for the veteran. And now Span will advance Carroll to second by drawing his 3rd walk of the game. And Revere has delivered a couple of hits tonight. We'll try for a 3rd.
An RBI second, or an RBI base hit in the 2nd inning, and then a base hit leading off the 6th inning.
Carroll has a couple of those big hits with 2 outs for the Twins and men in scoring position. Revere got one of those hits in the 2nd. Revere came into the game hitting .400 against left-handers. Foul off the screen in front of the Philly dugout. So you look at this lineup that's not maybe as left-handed as it used to be, but Span, Revere, and Mauer, 3 left-handers hitting 1, 2, and 3. Span's hitting .238 against lefties. Revere .400. Mauer's hitting .358 against lefties. 2 strikes. And Revere with a little pop fly foul. And a fan made the catch in the seating area. Well, the Twins have had some great fans here, except that might have been a Philly fan. A Philly fan took an out away from his team. It looked like Fontenot might have had a play at the ball.
I don't think this fan reached over. The ball just kind of came to him. Oh, boy.
No. Now, Fontenot, I think, would have caught that ball, but the Philly fan, which was his right.
Yes. He wanted to give it to him.
Two strikes to Revere as he fights to keep his at bat alive. 1-2. Well, earlier we tipped our cap to a Twins fan who stayed in his seat and let a double be a double instead of interfering with the play and maybe having an extra base and an extra run awarded. See if the Twins can take advantage of the transplanted Philly fan.
And we do.
Revere with his third hit. Carroll comes in to score, and the Twins cash in and now lead by 4.
Well, another RBI single by Ben Revere, 2 out hitting, his third hit of the ball game, driving in his second run. A breaking ball that stayed up, and Revere hitting this ball between first and second and to right. And Carroll scores for the second time in the game.
And that young man did what just about every fan would do. It's just he had a Philly fielder ready to catch the foul pop. 1-0 to Mauer. Kansas City beat Milwaukee 2-1. Zach Greinke pitching in Kansas City for the first time since his trade to Milwaukee.
It was kind of interesting to read what Zach Greinke said. He said in 2010 he kind of gave up, that he really didn't try. I find that very odd that he would say that.
A little disappointing that he would do it.
Yeah.
That not try. Mauer lines it foul. I think that's going to be one of the great free agent situations to follow in this offseason. People wondering about Josh Hamilton, where he's going to go. I think the Greinke thing is going to be fascinating to follow and see where he goes, whether he'll stay in Milwaukee. Inside to Mauer. 3-1.
Well, a little bit that we know about Zach Greinke with his anxiety disorder, you would think it would be a smaller market team.
Place where he can just kind of do his own thing and win ball games, and he's done that in Milwaukee. He hasn't lost at Miller Park yet.
Right.
There's a strike, 3-2. Full count to Mauer. Revere will take off from first. And Mauer takes ball 4. And they're loaded up now for Willingham.
Well, second walk for Diekman.
Pete McCannon, another former Twin bench coach for Charlie Manuel. Willingham hit one of the hardest hit home runs I've seen in a while his last time up.
That was a 500th career walk for Joe Mauer. Milestones just keep coming.
97-mile-per-hour fastball at the belt for a strike. White Sox beat the Cardinals 6-1. Pretty much everything the White Sox are doing these days is working. Swings through a 96-mile-per-hour fastball. Two strikes to Willingham. Breaking ball, frozen, and the Twins leave the bases full. But they still get a couple of runs and push the lead out to 4, thanks in part to a Philly fan with a Golden Glove.
This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC.
Well, the Twins lead by 4, but if the pattern holds, the Phillies will answer, chip away at the lead at least here.
Well, Glenn Perkins hopes not. Perkins making his 28th relief appearance.
And Perkins will face John Mayberry Jr., Hunter Pence, and Jim Thome. Outside, ball 1.
Mayberry pinch hit for Juan Pierre in the 6th inning. Picked up an RBI with a ground out.
Perkins gave up a big home run over the weekend to Alfonso Soriano. Soriano was hitting the ball hard all weekend against everybody. Missing the inside corner. 2-1. Brian Dunsing charged with 3 runs allowed in the 6th. Alex Burnett cleaned up a bit of a mess in the 6th. Burton got into but out of trouble in the 7th. Now Perkins in the 8th.
I think that's the biggest thing. When a starter only goes 5 innings, you're going to need 3 or 4 pitchers, and you know you can't expect every pitcher to be on. Dunsing struggled a little bit. Burnett finally got him out of that inning. Burton a good 8, and hopefully a Perkins, 7th. Hopefully Perkins a good 8. Catch it.
Was out of my range. Has there ever been announcer interference? I mean, we've had fan interference. We had the ball boy down in the corner interfering.
About the only place it could have been is Detroit, the old ballpark. Remember how close you were?
Yeah. Check swing. Did he go? Oh, it's a full count.
Yeah, we had the off day yesterday. I had a chance to go to Fairfax with Kurt Sampson's family, celebrating Kurt Sampson's birthday bash up there. Had a great turnout, and spoke to you this morning, and you did a little fishing, and you caught the big one.
Nice big walleye last night. Very happy with that. And a breaking pitch gets Mayberry for the first out of the 8th.
A good hard breaking ball inside.
You know, as I was baiting my hook last night, I thought, you know, a few years ago you ate some night crawlers and raised some money for Parkinson's. Would you consider doing that with leeches?
I'd have to find out if they're edible first.
Well, who told you night crawlers were?
Dr. Steves. I went out there, asked him. He said they had protein in them.
I'm sure leeches have protein in them
I'm sure they do. I just want to know what's going to happen 24 hours later.
2 quick strikes to Pence.
Well, the night crawlers you gave me were alive. Leeches.
Well, yeah, they'd have to be alive. You wouldn't want to eat something dead, would you?
Oh, yeah, in a heartbeat.
2 strikes. Pence 0 for 3 with a walk. Wow, went upstairs and struck him out. So Perkins checks in and strikes out the first 2 batters of the 8th.
He just reared back and challenged Pence right there. The ball up in the strike zone at 95. Pence swings through it.
So here's Thome. If he's going to hit one this series, Twins hope it's in a situation like this when they're up by 4 and the base is empty. Drove in a run with a single to left field his last time up. Snapped his bat. And that'll drop in front of Willingham. So Tomey, who nearly hit a home run down the left field line earlier in the game, now has 2 hits to left field.
Not only the power, Tomey's always been a very good average hitter. He broke his bat on that.
And a chunk of the handle came out. Here's Victorino back from the right side, back to the right side of the plate. Pop straight up in the air. Mauer on the warning track squeezes it. That ends the 8th inning. A good inning for Glenn Perkins and the Twins.
Welcome back to Target Field. Twins lead 11-7 as they come to bat in the bottom of the 8th inning. Stay with us after the game for Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink. We'll take you through Home Run Derby. The Twins bats have stayed hot. They've punted out 16 hits, including 3 home runs. We'll go inside the clubhouse and hear from the manager, Ron Gardenhire, and our professionals. We'll take you onto the field and teach you how to handle the hot corner. That's right, Roy Smalley down the third base line. Bert, I'm not sure what kind of a hitter you were as a pitcher, but it's your chance tonight to rifle some balls at Mr. Smalley and see how he handles that hot corner. You won't want to miss it.
Oh, wow. You've been waiting
Kevin,
for that.
I can honestly say I was not a very good hitter. So I get the fungo, I guess.
Chad Qualls comes out of the Philadelphia pen to pitch to the Twins in the bottom of the 8th.
Yeah, Qualls, a veteran pitcher, came up with the Houston Astros, has pitched in Arizona, Tampa Bay, San Diego, and now in his first season with the Phillies.
Outside to Morneau, ball 1. Morneau with a double to left center and 4 trips. Off a foot, sounded like. Hit the bag and bounced up in the air, but Morneau's going to try to limp this one off. You know, you look at Morneau's overall numbers, and it's apparent something is missing, and what's missing is production against left-handers. Coming into the game, as you take a look at the ball hitting off his foot.
Well, you wear that pad, thank goodness.
Morneau's hitting .324 against right-handers, so there's nothing wrong there, but he has really struggled against lefties and did so again tonight. On the ground, Morneau running down the line. Martinez throws him out, 1 down. Coming up this weekend, interleague play at Target Field. The Twins took 2 out of 3 in Milwaukee. They'll try to do the same when Milwaukee comes to Target Field. The 3-game set presented by CenturyLink. There are tickets available. So call 800-33-TWINS or visit twinsbaseball.com. Check out all the options for a great weekend at June baseball at Target Field.
Yeah, nice crowd here tonight, 32,622.
Domet the hitter, a pair of singles and a pair of runs scored. Cubs have scored a run in the bottom of the 8th against the Tigers. Be without Octavio Dotel for a while. He's got a shoulder issue. Swing and a miss. Everybody else in the American League Central except the Indians has won. The Indians lost to the Reds 7-1. White Sox and Royals are winners tonight. 2-1 to Domet. Caps warming up even though the Twins have a 4-run lead. That's to left and hit well. Mayberry back. That is off the wall. Domet goes to second and he's in with a double. His 3rd hit of the night. We've seen him pull the ball. How many times have we seen him hit the ball that far to the opposite field?
Well, Qualls leaves a pitch up, and Domet just goes with it. Again, the strength this guy can generate. Over the head of Mayberry, almost out of the ballpark. And for Ryan Domet, his 8th double of the year on his 3rd hit. And for the Twins, their 17th hit in this ball game.
Forward to next week when the Twins go to Pittsburgh and he'll renew acquaintances with some former teammates. Here's Plouffe. What more can the man do tonight? He's hit the ball hard 3 times. He has 3 hits. One of his hardest smashes was a 1-hop smash speared by Fontenot, who took a hit away from him in the 3rd.
Triple away from the cycle.
A home run in the 2nd. A single in the 5th and the double to right center his last time up. Two and one.
Ball's 33 years old, originally signed by the Astros. Signed as a free agent by the Phillies over the winter.
2-2. Chopper to 3rd. And Domet holds at second, 2 away. Dozier coming to the plate. And Trevor Plouffe with another good game.
Yeah, 2-run home run in the 2nd inning. An RBI single in the 5th, right back up the middle. And then a double over the head of Victorino in center field in the 7th inning.
Domet now being lifted for a pinch runner. Darren Mastroianni will run for him. Down and in a strike. Would love to get Domet squared away. It's just been kind of a slow leak for him in terms of the batting average for a long time.
For Dozier, yeah.
Who'd I say?
Domet.
Oh, I meant Dozier.
Yeah.
Yep. Domet's been fine.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, it's just Gardy even said, he's a rookie. He's going to struggle. You're going to have highs, you're going to have lows, but don't take it out on the field with you. And as long as, you know, hopefully he'll get a base hit right here. We're going to make him feel better, but, you know, don't let that affect your defense.
1-2.
Growing pains at the major league level. Everybody goes through it.
One and two to Brian Dozier. Drive to center. Victorino makes the catch. Dozier's hit the ball hard twice tonight. He, like Luke, was robbed of a hit by Fontenot back in the third. Good night for the Twins. Collectively, some individual great performances, including Trevor Plouffe again. As you look at the game reset, Jamie Carroll with 3 big 2-out hits for the Twins.
Yeah, it all started with Denard Span's home run in the bottom of the first inning. And the Twins, 16 hits later, have a 4-run lead over the Phillies. Matt Capps coming in, making his 25th appearance. The biggest thing for Matt Capps, 3 walks in 23 1/3 innings pitched. He's a strike thrower.
And Ty Wigginton will lead off the ninth. Obviously not a save situation for Capps. Just hopes to do what Burton and Perkins have done ahead of him. Pitch a scoreless inning here. Ball 1.
Capps, the 5th reliever used in this ball game. Nick Blackburn worked the first 5.
1-1. Two and 1. Capps facing Wigginton, who is 0 for 4, but then the trouble spots for the Twins tonight, the bottom third of the Philly batting order. Ruiz has reached 3 times with 2 hits. Fontenot has 2 hits. And Martinez, the number 9 batter, has hits his last 3 times up. Nice pickup by Plouffe. Morneau steps into foul territory to catch the throw. One away.
A nice play right there by Plouffe, and then having a time again, the ball hit sharply at him. Got a chance to get his feet underneath him. Plouffe going to his right, sets. The throw a little high, but Justin going into foul territory to catch that ball. It's a nice play by Justin right there, because if he's in fair territory, he probably has to leap for it and then maybe come down and maybe not get on the bag.
We've seen Chris Parmalee do that a few times. I don't know that we've seen Justin step into foul territory. Eddie Murray is always a really good fielding first baseman, and Murray would do that a lot. One strike to Ruiz, and a foul, 2 strikes. One and two. Phillies know that the Washington Nationals have beaten the Blue Jays 4-2. And if they lose here tonight, they'll fall 9.5 games back. This is a Philadelphia team that's used to seeing the standings flip-flop from where they are right now. 1 and 2. Caps to Ruiz. Cubs beat the Tigers 4-3. Twins win tonight, they'll just be 2.5 games behind Detroit. Two and two. Philly catcher. That's to right center field. Revere giving way to Span. Another somersault.
Well, the center fielder is the captain out there. And you got 2 guys right there have a lot of speed, can cover a lot of ground. And what you want to do, you want to stay quiet if they're right fielder until you hear Denard Span call you off, and then you get out of the way.
Span with a catch and a little smirk at his good friend Ben Revere. 2 down, and here's Fontenot. One and 0.
There has not been a 1-2-3 inning yet tonight.
You're right.
See if Matt Capps can get the first. Can it be?
Carroll, the Morneau Caps has a 1-2-3 9th inning. Twins recovered nicely from a disappointing game on Sunday. They hit 3 home runs in the game today, and a total of $42,000 has been raised in our game for prostate cancer research. To make a donation, you can call 800-798-CURE or go online to www.pcf.org. Anthony LaPanta, the Twins want to continue to win series. It's a lot easier to do that when you win the series opener.
Great start to the series for Minnesota. They've now won 10 of their last 13 games. We'll show you how the offense attacked the Phillies tonight, how Trevor Plouffe stayed hot, and hear from Gardy next on Twins Live.